And welcome to a truly unique video for me, an oddity within the Oddity Archive realm. In that, in the 500 odd videos that I've made over the years, if you add all of them up, I don't think in just under 11 years here I've ever done a mail day video. I've come close a couple of times. Early on, I had been sent some food items which I tried out, but I knew what was going to be in those packages ahead of time. In this case, I've gotten packages from viewers before, but I've always known what was going to be in there. And the instant I open the box, it's all just there, laid bare for me to see. In this case, I didn't know I was getting this stuff, and a lot of it remains individually wrapped and in such a way that I don't know what's in it. So I'll get into it more in a moment, but after opening one out of the dozen items in here, I figured maybe I should hold off on this and make a video, do something different. You know, it's the between season break, something a little more casual, even by my standards. But anyway, before we start getting into this, I really need to thank Tyrone for sending all this stuff in. A very loyal, long-time archive viewer, and somebody I've been known to chat with online a bit. And anyway, to my little story here, I got an email from him a few months ago asking me if I had mentioned to him that I was looking for a Betamax deck that I could use for a multi tape rig, multi tape cleaning. And so I didn't really care if it was worn out or whatever, but as long as it would rewind and fast forward and load and eject properly and not scratch the tape or something, great. And he found one at, I think, some e-recycling type place. Wish I had something like that around here. But anyway, that's what the sticker on the lid of the beta deck says. So anyway, I got it, and I got this huge box. I was thinking, did he send me several beta decks? What is this? No, it was just the one, but he included a ton of other goodies. Now, to finish up the Betamax multi-tape thing, I tried it pretty much right out of the gate with one of my known good major studio tapes, hi-fi, the whole deal. And I should note, it's a super beta hi-fi deck, stereo and everything. So I was feeling a little guilty that I'd be using this for multi-tape duty, but I stuck in a tape, and the audio and video were just both distorted, really distorted. And I figured, well, it just needs cleaning. So I gave it a real good, thorough cleaning and just did a full maintenance job on it, re-lubed things, took off dried old grease and all that stuff. And put in the same known good, full-blown studio hi-fi stereo tape. And it was better, but not very good. It was exhibiting the signs of just being worn out. Worn out video head, worn out ace assembly. But by the same token, it rewinds, fast forwards, loads, and ejects just great. So now I don't feel guilty about using it for multi-tape duty. But anyway, as for that box, there was also a Ben's Junk candidate in there, which, assuming it works, you will be seeing in the next month or two here. And at the time, I was either working on or had just finished the Mad Magazine episode about their forays into other media. So not necessarily the magazine itself. But what did I get but a contemporary issue of Mad, which, of course, these days it's all just reprints. But in this case, I think this is one of those Mad specials. And I think it first came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And this is effectively a reissue of a reissue, if I read the fine print correctly. And that leads us to this Burlington coat factory bag. Alas, no Burlington coats in there. But probably better than that. There were a dozen of these sealed paper packages, and admittedly I opened one and realized that this might make for a good video, nice little change of pace, something good for the between season break. So yeah, so here's the one that I've already opened just in the name of being complete. But this may be a bellwether of what's in the rest of these, because shape and size and weight-wise, it seems about right. But we got 2 Betamax tapes in here. We've got a loose copy of The Running Man from 1987, which I can't place. I guess I'll have to either watch it or look it up on IMDb or something. But when I'm thinking of the fill-in-the-blank man, I'm thinking The Invisible Man, or later on The Wicker Man, or Lawnmower Man, something like that. But yeah. But the interesting one in here to me was the second tape. A still sealed with the little plastic thingy that they would, hang in the store on it. Sony L830 tape. And if I know my Sony box history correctly, this design was introduced in 1983 to coincide with the new Beta Hi-Fi decks. But yeah, it's still got the price tag on it, $8.99, which that would have been about right for a single blank beta tape, certainly of this length in 1983, 84. So yeah, great. This is a collector's piece. I'm not going to open it. And it's just as well. I don't like recording on 830s. They use thinner and more easily damaged tape stock, because they had to fit more tape on here. These are the longest beta tapes, official ones at least, that ever came out. These could get you up to 5 hours at the slowest speed. But anyway, that brings us to the 11 other packages. But since I only get one chance at this, I'm going to take a cut here. I'm going to move the camera, hopefully get a better view, closer view, and we can start digging in. And we'll have a little Christmas morning on a June evening as I'm shooting this. Okay, 10 out of the 11 remaining packages are in these square-ish little things, about the size of a Betamax tape. So I'm expecting to see a lot of beta tapes here. Let's see what we get. And I just realized that it could really be anything. And this is one of those rare occasions where nothing is controlled, as it were. But these are all the easy kind of zip strip things, so I shouldn't have to fidget with a knife or anything. That would make a great archive video. Let's see, another loose tape that I'm gonna have to glue the label back on. Moonraker from Bay Video Center. Never heard of it. So I guess we got us a James Bond here. Bay Video Center again, another loose tape. This time, ooh, Police Academy. Yeah, I discussed Police Academy, the series, TV series, live action one, not too long ago. I've actually had the set of DVDs of the whole Police Academy movie series sitting in my Amazon cart for too long now. I guess I should finally break down and cough up the $13.99, but yeah. One of those movies that is absolutely terrible on television. You kind of have to watch it in its own right. The later ones you could watch on TV and actually got extra scenes. Ooh. Oh, well, I think I know what's on this one. So we got a pinstripe L750 here. So the tape itself is presumably from mid-77 up through 82, 83. Oddity archive on Betamax due to age of tape and VCR, some glitches. So I guess it's a compilation. And it looks like we used the labels. So this will be the first time I've seen archive on beta that I didn't make. Another loose one, Singing in the Rain. Okay, weird story. I worked on a stage production of Singing in the Rain several years ago now, and it had an actual rain effect, and we had to build a grate and drain into the stage, and by the time that show's run was over, there was black mold in that thing. And it's kind of where I developed, I guess you could say, I hate to say fear of mold, but it's kind of where I developed my tendency of wearing an N95 mask when dealing with mold, anything that could kick it up. But yeah, the really toxic stuff. So yeah, weird memory for Singing in the Rain. As far as the movie goes, the only part of it that's ever really stuck with me is the bit where, it's about the transition from silent film to sound. And there's a parody of Vitaphone where it skips, and it works out where it's a love scene between a guy and a girl, and the two voices get swapped. And on another occasion, the speed goes completely wrong. But anyway, this has got the manufacture date on it. January 14th, 1983. If my ever slow camera will focus on it. I've got a few of these manufactured by VCA. Oh dear, Top Gun. But it's original, 1987 issue, which I have owned this on VHS, but I guess I should be happy I have this. I remember renting this on VHS, but this issue and it having kind of a cool commercial for Pepsi, Diet Pepsi at the beginning, so presumably it would be on the beta version too. That's cool. Found it at the Goodwill. Of course, I don't remember Top Gun being that great a movie. One of those 80s soundtrack is better than the movie sort of deals. And I've not seen Top Gun Maverick, by the way. Another loose one, the Misfits. And 1961. I cannot place that. I cannot think of that one offhand. Let's see, 5 more to go. I feel like Johnny Carson opening the envelope and blowing in it and doing the Karnak bit. Oh, here's another 8:30. That 70s Show, random episodes. Okay. Didn't one of the actors from that get sentenced to prison recently? If I want to go full Carson, I guess I can blow in it. It's another loose tape. Let's see here. The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938. So that would be the Errol Flynn one, I guess. On Scotch tape. Which, by this point in the game, I think Scotch was making decent enough tape. Uh-oh, I better not tamper with it. Not that my camera will ever focus on that text. So somebody was just selling or giving away lots of loose beta tapes, I guess. Let's see, 3 more to go and only 2 of this variety. Okay, this one's in a box. An L830. Super Bowl 57. Okay, so that would be the most recent Super Bowl, I guess. And I don't watch professional sports, so... Okay, that could be interesting. Has the record tab punched out. But if nothing else, you know, for the commercials. All right, last one of these kind of square ones. SKC, so a South Korean brand at least. And we have 1995 TV recordings. So whether these are original or a dub, I'm not sure, but what do we got on here? Carmen Sandiego Reboot. NYPD Blue, Carmen Sandiego Reboot. Okay. I thought the 95 would have still been the original game show. Maybe it's something else I'm thinking of. I used to watch the game show a fair amount, actually, when I was in grade school. Every now and then I still get that a cappella theme song stuck in my head for no good reason. Haven't seen it in 25 years, but... All right, last one, and it's a biggie. Might not fit in frame. It kind of looks like an MRE, doesn't it? So I suppose I should be expecting teriyaki or something in it. Really bad meatloaf, who knows? Or worse yet, Mexican fiesta. Let's see. A still sealed 8-track. I've got a few of these, and I still need to get my HR100 fixed one of these days. Something with the Dolby circuitry seems to be screwy, and it's sending the pilot tone into the deck. So if I do any 8-track stuff on Archive, like for record ripoffs, I guess I'm gonna have to go out to the backyard and unbury, you know, dig up, grave rob my Montgomery Wow and Flutter again. But yeah, so I've got like half a dozen of these now. If I ever have a fully functioning HR100, I'll have to do some record tests and all that and give it the first ever Ben's Junk redo. So we got a clamshell here of 1984, John Hurt and Richard Burton. Formerly Big Box. Oh, this thing is a little on the dirty side. Rental video, ticket price $79. I suppose I should put this in the frame here. That would be helpful. So, presumably an adaptation of George Orwell's book, yeah. What I can gather from the first line of the obligatory paragraph. Yep, there it is. From Warehouse. I remember Warehouse music. I used to go to the one in South Denver in the tech center when I was growing up periodically. I bought some pretty decent tapes on clearance there, new ones at the time. So yeah, that's all of them. So once again, I will have to thank Tyrone for sending all this in. Hope he doesn't mind my opening this stuff on camera and just kind of blabbing off the top of my head about all this. But yeah, that is going to be it for today. I will talk to you again soon. I'm going to have to dig out my book of this.
Relax and have one on me.
Roger, Den Mother.